Hi and welcome to CryptoEARN. Thank you for popping by again, and here is where you will find all the information on crypto and Bitcoin, the one-stop shop. Today we're going to be looking at some news, some good news, some technical analysis, a brief view of what's happening with Bitcoin, see if we can see whether we think it's going to be breaking off or whether it's going to have another dip. Then on-chain analysis, some of the interesting things we can read from the Bitcoin that is in the exchanges right now, and also stable coins or ALTS. We're going to be looking at DOT in particular, just to give you my idea of it. Yield and pooled. We're not going to be looking at accounting, Excel. I'll show you a very brief version of my Excel sheet, which you might like, and then we will develop it as we go along. On Fury and trading, we won't be looking today, and finally the community. So if we go to our first news, I think maybe most of you may have heard 19 million Bitcoins have now been mined. So there's 21 million in the algorithm, the Satoshi Nakamoto's algorithm, and we're now to 90. This is just over 90%. So one of the beauties of Bitcoin is that obviously it's scarce. We cannot just go on mining it like maybe gold or platinum indefinitely, and we cannot print it like the dollar, the euro, the yen, or any other currency. So basically, Satoshi's mathematical, unpredictable design. 90 million Bitcoins have been issued. The Bitcoin network reached the milestone on Friday, April the 1st, after records show 19 million Bitcoins have been mined. Watershed moment occurred at block height 730,034, and now there's only 2 million left. Now, one of the beauties of mathematics, I guess, is that you can also go out and say to yourself, well, how many millionaires are there in, and I've actually put in the US here, so how many millionaires are there in the US? And funnily, look how many, according to Google, 21,951 millionaires. Now, this means that eventually not every US millionaire will be able to have one Bitcoin. So isn't that amazing? And that's not taking into account other millionaires in the Arab states or in India or in Russia or in China. So this is just, or in Europe, just in the US, there's not going to be enough Bitcoins to have one Bitcoin per person. So this is still our chance to be amongst the greatest. One not so good news, this is the EU Parliament, the lawmakers push to tighten laws on crypto transfers and unlimited. This is a terrible news. Hopefully, it will be actually reverted. It's only the first stage in the process, but basically what they're doing is they're trying to make all the non-regulated wallets, all the personal private wallets, what you and I would call, my private wallet. They want to ask or make a law that any exchange that deals with any private wallet with more than 1,000 euros or equivalent to about $1,000, it will have to actually do a KYC on that wallet. Now that's totally against the whole idea of crypto. So hopefully it will be thrown back by the pressure that the crypto community is going to start putting now. But it's still bad news because the first stage of the law is gone through. So as regulatory concerns about 2.1 trillion crypto sector grow, lawmakers of the European Union have voted in favor of outlawing anonymous crypto transactions. The EU is about to strip the crypto industry of its anonymity. According to reports, more than 90 lawmakers voted in favor of the proposal. The lawmakers expressed a concern about the possibility of crypto upsetting the stability of financial markets and the role, blah, 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 crimes. Yeah, this is just the usual story. More FUD, and really, these people should really do their homework and do some investigation and find out exactly how crypto works. But anyhow, that's one to keep an eye on. I also wanted to look at DOT. I mean, it says here, could the next king of crypto be Polkadot? I mean, this is just obviously a personal opinion. I personally have DOT, and I actually believe it's going to be a good system. It actually works. What it says here, how does Polkadot work? It's an open source sharing protocol that can be used to build other blockchains. So basically, it's like a central blockchain which allows other blockchains to work within it very effectively. In fact, it says here Polkadot can be called a layer 0 network because it allows other layer 1 networks to exist. So I don't know if you've read or heard about the parachains, but there is going to be these auctions to allow 100 other chains to link up to the Polkadot chain, and then each one of those will be able to work seamlessly and using the security and the scalability of Polkadot. So as I say, basically, I mean, I don't think he's going to actually, anything is going to debunk or shove Bitcoin from the position of being king, but it's still a good proposition. And then this is just a very bullish and almost like a little bit of humorous news here, but somebody has published the news that sanctions on Russian central bank might push Bitcoin above 1 million, 1 million mark, yeah, $1 million per Bitcoin. So this is just something fun to read, and yeah, just to dream that maybe one day we'll all be millionaires, everybody holding one Bitcoin. But it actually does have some foundation, although it's very speculative. Although Bitcoin struggles to hit 50,000 once again, a recent prediction claims that last year's highs of nearly 70,000 will become a mere joke compared to the 1,300,000 all-time high expected to arrive in the coming months. As I say, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but just to bear in mind that if they're talking about 1 million, then 100,000 is definitely possible. 300,000 in the next halving is also a possibility. And then from there, let's look at, that's the news. Let's briefly move to a basic technical analysis, which is going to be on this screen. Well, we can see Bitcoin, I mean, from this high, beautiful peak of 69,000 is now obviously bumbled around 35, 38 for a while. We hope that this is now definitely broken this resistance here around 44,555. We tested it once, twice, 3, 4 times, and then we finally broke it on the 27th of March. Now it could have continued straight up, breaking the next resistance and the next resistance, but it decided to stay and test the next resistance up, which was 47,600, and there it's been. It's not a bad thing as long as it doesn't fall back. I mean, it could fall back to 44,600. It could imaginably come back down to 40,000, although I very much doubt it, and most analysts doubt that it will do that. There's a lot of strength right now, and I think we're hoping that it will test these two resistance and support, and it will eventually break up to 50,000. And that's the next resistance coming from here, 50,000, and then we will see it towards the end of the year, middle to the end of the year, maybe hitting again the 56,000, hopefully all-time highs by next year. But you can see this, the beauty of technical analysis is just a little bit of a dance of lines, and you can see some of these lines. If you project this one to this point here, which is where I had it, then you find how this beautifully starts bouncing around at this line again. And similarly, if I bring one all the way from up here from the all-time high, which I did to this point, and then found there was a little bit of play here, brought it to this point, also was a little bit of play here, and now I bring it to this maximum here and look at how it's just been bouncing in there. So this is now creating a triangle that it has to break. Yeah, the moment is just below the support there, but it will have to break one way or the other. We obviously were hoping that it would break up in the upward direction. Then from this analysis, I want to go and look briefly at some on-chain analysis, and that I will show you. Where's my on-chain analysis? Sorry about this. On-chain analysis. There's two beautiful and very simple parameters that we can read in this graph. Yeah, this is obviously the price of Bitcoin. We had this high at 67, then we came up to 69 again. So that's the price of Bitcoin in black. And then this blue line shows the exchange reserve in all exchanges. So this is basically Bitcoin that is in the exchanges. Now, the analysts tend to associate Bitcoin in exchanges, but we're waiting to sell, waiting for the Bitcoin price to rise up so they could sell it. But what happened is since the pandemic, which was here in March 2020, as the prices started to rise, I think people became confident in Bitcoin again. They realized it's actually not going to drop to zero, as it's been the eternal fear, and they started withdrawing the Bitcoin from the exchanges and taking it into wallets. Then as the price began to rise, it stays stable. And what the very important or significant issue now is that people are withdrawing their Bitcoins back from the exchanges. So the less Bitcoins there are in exchanges, it's a sign, it's a bullish sign, because it means that people are not really ready to sell. They're actually taking them off to their wallet. So right now, there is 2,300,000 Bitcoins in all exchanges. So this doesn't leave many Bitcoins for sale, yeah. And the other one, which is similarly, but the reverse case, if we look at the stable coins in all exchanges, so it's all stable coins in exchanges, we can see the opposite. And why do people take stable coins into exchanges? They don't take them there to gain yield, or to for any other reason, or to do the savings, or to store it. They take it to exchanges because they're going to sell and buy Bitcoin, of course, or Ethereum, or whatever. But this is very bullish, because whenever there are the more stable coins that are in the exchanges, it's a sign that people are ready to start buying Bitcoin or other crypto. So if I go back to BTC, we can see that at this point that the price is rising, the actual amount of stable coins has gone down a little bit. Then from there, I will come back to DOT, which is what I was talking about in that news piece. But also I want to show you about the parachains. Yes, I don't know whether you know parachains.info. So the idea with DOT is that there are these 100 chains that are going to be linked to it. And what Polkadot has done is to actually encourage people to invest in the parachains. Is they've actually made these auctions. Yes, so if you go to parachains info, then you got these auctions, and then there's already been, if you look at the first auction 1 to 5, there was these 5 auctions which won a place in the Polkadot chain. So the winners were Moonbeam, Akala, Power Finance, Clove, and that's 5. Then these ones are already like working towards becoming connected to the Polkadot, and there's going to be 100 altogether. So then there was the auction 6 to 11. Then here's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chains that won. This is where I got involved at this stage, and I'll tell you what my strategy is going to be for high yield returns on my crypto. And then obviously there is another lot coming up, 12 to 18. So my idea, this is not financial advice, but it's just something that it's maybe a way of actually putting some money away for the future, is to join the parachains, actually put maybe 5 dots on each or 10 dots on each. Then you will actually get in return for every dot, you will get 5.28 UNQ for this one. For every dot, you will get 3.7 CTO in this one. So you actually get paid in the currency of these parachains. Now, we don't know how much they're going to be worth when they come out, but generally it's a nice return. They normally give you more than their fair share for putting your dots in there. Now, the only things we have to be aware about these parachains and the auctions is that your dots are going to be locked for 2 years. So it is actually a very long-term, medium long-term investment here. But this is what I've done. I mean, I just thought it was a nice idea to get involved. I've put some dots in centrifuge, interlay, nodal, hydrox, and equilibrium. They've all won. My dots are going to be locked up for 2 years, but I'm going to receive CFGs, centrifuge, interlays, nodal, hydro, and equilibriums. And then the idea is whatever I receive from these chains, I will immediately convert back into dots. I'll put them back into the next parachains that come along. So as soon as I start receiving my funds, I will come in here and I will start reinvesting. Then whatever I get out of these ones, I'll continue reinvesting. They will go to whatever the 19 to 24 auctions, and this is going to go for 100. But anyhow, I will see how it goes. But it's just a way of actually multiplying. This is a massive multiplier. So if I start with $1,000 of DOT, I'm hoping that by the end of 2024, I will have double or treble or whatever. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's a fun way to make investments. Now, my next, and in the future, I actually have here, this is what we will be doing maybe in a future video. We'll be looking at pool and adding liquidity to some of these pools. This is osmosis pool, and you can see some of the APRs. I just had this open, so I showed it to you. So 52, 36, 61. Okay, some of these we don't really know much about the coins, but some of them are actually quite good. Let's see if I show you an interesting one I found the other day. If I invest in, there was one with Luna, say a Luna UST, you can get 30% on that. So if you go some Luna, you can get 30% by just putting it here. And here is two stable coins. You can get 8% just on your euros and UST. So these are some ways of actually making your money work. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. This is why one nice way to keep your coins, keep accounts of how you're doing. This is we will develop this Excel sheets a little bit further as we go along, but some ideas. So we can have our coins here: BNB, Ethereum, Luna, Dot, Nyota, and other. These are some of the ones I personally have. These are not the amounts, but just to show. Say, imagine you have 3 BNBs, and the price I bought was 442. So that would give me now a price of, a value of $1,366. Now, I actually bought it. Let's imagine I bought it at 442. So this would be the price I paid. And then this is just a nice way of showing the percentage change. So I've actually gained 2.98% just on my BNBs. I've gained on my Ethereum 35%, on my Lunas I've gained 30%. And then in some of them, admittedly, we have also lost here. But then we have the total amount I've invested. And this is the total amount, or no, this is the total amount invested. This is the total amount I have now. And this will be my net gains, which is just a percentage value. So if you want to learn how to be doing this, then we will go into, and more importantly, these values here, these are US dollar prices live. Yeah, so I have some APIs here, which go out and grab the prices. And so if I do a data refresh all, you will see these values will change, and these values will change. And we're doing a little bit better. So there we go. Some things have gone up, some things have gone down. But actually, I'm now 4.34% the better for it. Just some ideas. We will work on these in other videos. And also, if you like something particular, if you want to go into more detail on the Polkadot chains, or if you want to go into more detail into these Excel, I also have plans to look at Quantfury, which is an app for very quick day trading. And then with all that, I think I will now close the video just with a quick reminder of the channel. I will appreciate, of course, if you do the likes and the subscribe and the bell, and we will make this channel really work for everybody. If you like the content, please like, and we will see you very soon. Ciao.